Hey guys, it's Doesn't Matter
I love the dream.
and we are recording this post our first episode that we recorded where we answered your questions. That episode was recorded prior to Jessie's announcement that she was leaving. We just wanted to share that with you guys and let you know that that was the case. In case wondered why we didn't address it in any of our in our comments. I wanted to just kind of let you guys know that I'm going to continue to include her on the channel. She in my eyes is still a part of Little Mix, will always be a part of Little Mix. And you can expect probably too many videos about her leaving as I process my own feelings about all of it. It's really heartbreaking to me that Jessie was essentially harassed out of her dream. And I really, really hope that one day she finds that again in whatever way is best for her, whether it's, acting or dancing or singing or anything like that. But I hope she finds her way back to it because I think it's something she was born to do. And it would honestly be such a shame if she had to give it up forever because of the trolls. I am heartbroken in that sense. And on another hand, couldn't be more proud of her for finally putting herself first. She wanted to leave almost the second that she was put in the group, and she didn't really want to be there, and she stuck in for 9 years, went through hell for it. And now she's older and more mature and she's choosing herself for the first time. I couldn't be more proud of that, and I think that it's going to be the right decision for her. It just is going to really suck for all of us, but that's kind of just what we wanted to let you guys know before you listen to the first episode. The only thing I can really think of at the moment that my answer would have changed for the questions we answered is we got asked what the next single we wanted to be off Confetti, and I said Confetti. Looking back at it now, the single that I think should be next is Gloves Up. Jessie has a smaller part in it, and I think it'll just hurt a little bit less. Uh, if that's the song choice, rather than something where she sings quite a bit. But yeah, we just wanted to let you guys know that and speak a little bit on it. And we hope you guys enjoy the first episode. Despite the kind of state that the fandom is in right now, hopefully it'll still bring a smile to your face anyway. Thank you guys all so much for your support. We will see you guys on our channels and on social media, and I'm going to be teasing our project after Christmas. So look forward to that as well. Thanks, guys. On to the first episode. Hey, guys, it's Doesn't Matter, and
I love the dream.
this is our first ever episode of Confessions of a Stan Mixer Edition. Shout out to all of you who didn't necessarily ask questions for today's podcast, but just were like, oh, I'm so excited, I'll be listening.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
It's nice to know that there are at least some of you that are going to be watching, and all of you that ask questions. Thank you so much for that as well. You guys asked so many. We can't unfortunately get to all of them, but we're going to do a bunch of them. You guys asked us, how did we get the idea to start the podcast, and how did we meet? You said you had it a few months ago, but never really went anywhere. I had it a little while ago, and I reached out. I feel like it's a different kind of thing for us to do in the fandom, and that it would be a fun way to just kind of interact more with you guys and just in general, and to be able to kind of talk more about things. You said you wanted to start one a few months ago. What was your thought process with that?
I was just like really bored, and I had seen, I think somebody else had started one a while ago, but I had never heard about it afterwards. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a fun idea, like to obviously do something different, but to still interact with people. But then I was like, I don't know how to do that, and it just kind of fizzled, and I just completely dropped it.
Yeah, which ended up working out because now we're doing it together.
Yeah.
And then how we met because of you, kind of. Well, we haven't like officially met, guys. We live on opposite sides of the US.
Yeah, this is the first time we've spoken.
But we like met online because you reached out about like that big collab we all did. Right? Was that the first time?
I think it was earlier, wasn't it? When
Oh, maybe.
I think I had an wasn't it like when I had an audio issue and you DM'd me and told me how to fix it?
Oh, you know what? That's probably right.
I don't remember when it was.
It was like your frame rates or something.
Yeah, it was a whole mess that I was dealing with.
Yeah, okay, that is right. And then we really all started talking more when we did the big collab, which you
Yeah,
spearheaded.
yeah.
And
It was like a
then,
spur of the moment decision.
yeah, I think it came together pretty nicely.
Yeah, I think we did pretty well.
And everyone seemed to really like it, like all the hardcore people.
Yeah, they were excited.
Yeah. Okay, the next question I have is when/why did we start to be fans of Little Mix?
Oof. I think for me it was early 2018. Like I want to say around March, February, March area. I'm not really sure though. And I knew vaguely who they were. I didn't know like that they were from the UK and I didn't know like their names or anything, but I knew a few of their songs and just that they were a group. And then I heard shout out to my ex on the not on the radio. I heard it on The Voice and then I kind of dug a little bit deeper and I was like, "Oh, I know that song. Oh, I know that song too." And it kind of was like a, "Oh, I do know who they are" feeling. So, it was like just a nice little I want to say safe haven because the stuff I was going through at that time was not good and it kind of gave me a little I guess yeah, safe haven.
My kind of history with them is actually really fuzzy to me. They kind of like appeared in my peripheral like a number of times over the years.
Oh.
And so like I actually like cannot recall a strict timeline. So I'm just gonna kind of hope I'm piecing it together correctly. I remember like I saw kind of like you, I saw Wings on one of the talent shows. I don't remember which one it was. And I remember thinking like, oh, I really like the lyrics to that. Like I wonder who the original song is, like who's it by. I remember I looked it up and everyone's gonna hate me. I didn't love the original. I didn't hate it. I still think I like saved it, but I didn't like immediately fall in love with them. I think at that time though, DNA had been out, and I think I kind of clicked on a few of the other songs on the album and listened to them, like just like picked it based on the track. And I'm pretty sure I found "Change Your Life" and "We Are Who We Are" by doing that. I downloaded them or whatever it was back then. Sometimes I would listen to them, but like I wasn't always listening to it. It was just like when I would put my music on like shuffle. And then I watched Fifth Harmony on, I had watched them on The X Factor
Yeah, same.
and I really wanted to like them. Like I really wanted to root for them. And so I like would kind of check in on them every once in a while. And so when they toured with Demi, I checked in on them, and I saw that Little Mix was also on that tour, the Neon Lights tour. And I remember watching like a few different YouTube videos of both groups. I don't know, that fuzzy memory is where that one ends. I don't know where that got me. I just remember that. The first like really clear memory I have is I had just gotten like Apple Music. Like it was the first time Apple Music had come around. I was starting to use Apple's curated playlists where they're like, oh, we think you would like this playlist and it regenerates every whatever amount of days. And I found Black Magic and Grown on that playlist.
Oh.
And I was home for the holidays. I became obsessed with Grown. Then when I saved it to my phone, it also showed me when I like went to go look at it, I had the other songs from the DNA album. And so I
Oh.
put those on my playlist. After the holidays, I actually went and studied abroad in London. I didn't really see anything Little Mix related per se, but I was still listening to those songs the whole time I was there. And then got back to the US and just like they fell off my radar again. In 2018, Power came across which like how late is that? Like 2 years after Glory Days came out.
Yeah.
Um, Power somehow entered like my Apple Music like circle of I don't know, and I like became totally obsessed. I think I went and I picked out a few other things Oh, I don't know if I can remember it off the top of my head now. I think like maybe like Freaking Down and Dirty or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe a few. I don't really remember. It wasn't until late 2018 that YouTube recommended to me a vocal coach's reaction to Woman Like Me. Um, and I was like, oh, I was like, well, that will be interesting. And so I watched that. And then I thought it was really cool to watch experts react to them. And then all of the experts had really great opinions of them. And then it was a lot of the commentary of like, you can tell how hard they work based on how good their blend is and how tight their harmonies are and all this stuff. And then from there, I was like, well, maybe I should do a deep dive on them because I'm fabulous at getting obsessed with things. And um, and so that's what I did, and then obviously once I did the deep dive, I was sold. But yeah, I had like a really weird relationship with them up until I like really became a stan.
It was very gradual.
Yeah, like I do remember liking Salute and Move. I feel like I had those songs prior to 2018. I just cannot for the life of me remember how I would have gotten them.
I had a few of that, like a few songs that I was like that with.
Yeah, I was like, I know this. I just don't know if I had the song already or if I didn't, or like I don't remember where I heard it the first time.
Yeah. For me, it was like Hair. That one, for some reason, I just knew Hair and I had no idea how I knew it.
Oh yes, yeah, it's so weird, the ones that, like, you just know.
Yeah, and it was like the background of like Change Your Life. I had heard that like so many times, and then when I heard it, I was like, that's the song that's always stuck in my head, even though I didn't realize it.
Yeah. So it's crazy. So, officially, like, a stan 2018, but, I guess, like oh god, I don't even know. I guess maybe, like, 2013, 2014 is when they first kind of entered my peripheral. I have no idea. But, yeah, it was, like, a long time of them just kinda, like, floating in and out of the media I consumed before I actually paid attention. Anyway, that's my long tale of how I became a fan. Covers the first ever Little Mix song I listened to. What about you?
Mine was Wings. I was obsessed with Wings for like, I want to say like a year and a half to 2 years. I think it was when it first came out. So, when was that? 2012, 2013. I was just like obsessed. And it would come on because I used to have the MTV like music channels playing in my house, and that song would come on all the time. And I was just having the time of my life when that song would come on. And then from there, I kept hearing that song, and that is, I think that's what really made me a fan is after I heard Shout Out to My Ex, and then that song came up on like the recommended next to it, and I was like, oh, they sing that song that I've been obsessed with since I was however old, like, so
Oh, yeah. Okay.
yeah, that's what mine was. Wings.
This one's for you. Next question. How do you manage to
Okay,
be
I see
active
it.
as a fan account while in school?
I don't. Because it's really hard because like my school work right now is editing, at least for a project that I'm working on right now for my one of my film classes. So having to separate editing for class and editing for fun is starting to get kind of hard because I start losing motivation when I'm having to focus more on my YouTube stuff because I just spent however long staring at my professor teaching us how to do something for our documentary. So it's definitely something I need to work on, but I'm noticing that when I edit all day on like weekends is when I seem to be the most productive because I don't have class, so I'm not as like, what's the word, hesitant to go and do it and
Yeah, because for anyone who
procrastinate
doesn't
it.
know, who, like, doesn't edit, it's a very much like a deep focus, like, long-term commitment activity. Like, you don't throw open your
Yeah,
editor for, like, 10 minutes or even, like, an hour. That's, like, a commitment. You've, like, chosen to sit there for hours now.
yeah, and that's like mixed in with finding the content, figuring out your idea, getting everything downloaded. It's a whole thing. So I'm working on it, but it's definitely getting better now that I'm more used to like my schedule, even though it'll be changing next semester. I'm still like more, I guess,
Finding more of a balance.
yeah. So it's getting better.
Who or what inspired us to start a YouTube channel?
I think for me, it was something that I did anyway. Like I edited videos for myself like years before I started a YouTube channel, and like not Little Mix stuff, just like stuff I would do with my friends, like music videos or whatever. And then as I got into like the Little Mix fandom, I would want to watch certain videos on certain topics and I couldn't find them. And so I was like, oh, I'll just make it myself. So I made them, but then I never actually uploaded them. I just kind of had them there. So if I wanted to watch it, I could watch it. Um, like one of the first videos I ever edited of Little Mix was a video that you have on your channel.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the oddly satisfying audio transition one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I that was one of the first things I tried just to see what would happen. I have no idea where it is now. I think I deleted it. But yeah, I basically just edited small types of videos, and then the only reason I put them on YouTube is because my computer and my hard drive was filling up a space. So I just uploaded them on there so I could watch them and didn't even think about like them being public, and then it started getting views and I was like, "Oh, uh-oh." And that's basically my story.
I have like an actually like a kind of similar story.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, I did not really mean to start a YouTube channel. I got into the fandom and I wanted to see certain things that I just weren't online. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just make them myself and I'll just have fun doing it. I was editing videos and they weren't going anywhere. And I had a coworker at the time who was kind enough to let me talk his ear off about my new obsession. And he just kept telling me, like, you should put it on YouTube, you should put it on YouTube, you should put it on YouTube. And I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, I don't do that. I think I realized, like, in my editor that I actually could upload straight to YouTube. I think I like gave it a try. And then I think I just was kind of like, okay, well, I'll post like a few things and just kind of see what happens. And nothing did happen, which is kind of what I expected to happen. I mean, like it got like a few hundred views or whatever it was, but like
Yeah.
nothing happened. Like it didn't matter, and I was kind of like, okay, and I stopped putting them up on YouTube, and I was just doing them for myself again. And then the Little Mix singing on the spot video blew up and went viral, like crazy
That
amounts of
one's
viral,
huge.
like millions of views. And then suddenly I had a very successful, thriving channel. It was like actually kind of insane. I was completely unprepared, had no intention of having a channel, didn't understand how YouTube even really worked. Like, completely unprepared to have a video go viral. Couldn't have been more unprepared. But like it happened and it was cool and kind of fun to see all the comments from all the mixers. And I was like, oh, well, I was like, I guess I'll just keep doing it. And so I did, and it kept growing. And eventually I was like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm running a YouTube channel. Um, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should get serious about that. And that was kind of probably around the point where I like changed my profile picture and I like kind of branded the channel and stuff. But yeah, so anyone who's ever wondering why the channel name is Does It Matter, it's because it wasn't meant to be a YouTube fan channel. um, it's like, guys, it's like my personal YouTube account. When I chose a username for it, I was like, I don't care to like pick a username. Like that's so annoying. It doesn't even matter. Um, and so like that's why the channel name is like that, guys. It wasn't it like it has nothing to do with Little Mix. I didn't know I was going to be a Little Mix channel. Um, and then once I had kind of realized I was doing it, it was too late. I had like already had the name and I had already gone viral and like
It was too late.
it was too late. Like I had just already had it. Like that was the brand. Um, so yeah, stumbled into the channel. Kind of just didn't really mean to have one, and just ended up with one.
I think like we both too like got really lucky that right off the bat our videos blew up since that like never happens
Yeah, honestly.
because I had a previous YouTube channel that I had where I would upload stuff with like my friends Don't try to go find it, please. Anybody who's listening,
Respect
please.
privacy, guys. Boundaries, respect privacy.
Because I have been asked before if I could share it, and I'm saving you. You don't want to see the videos on there, but like nothing. I think the most views I'd ever gotten on that channel was like 5 to 7,000 maybe, but that was after uploading for like 4 years. So like uploading stuff and like having it go viral is so rare, and I think that we just got lucky that both of our videos like did well.
This sounds super corny, but like you guys are actually the reason why we're here.
Yeah,
We stumbled into this and you guys made it happen. Like if you guys
we
hadn't
kept
been
it
so
going.
yeah, like if you guys hadn't been so into the videos, we wouldn't have been making a YouTube channel.
Yeah, thank you.
So like it really is like you guys inspired us, I guess. You're the reason that our videos continued and our channels grew.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Which video are you proudest of?
Um, I would say either any of my like I edited Little Mix interviews just because that's how I really figured out things that I could do in Final Cut Pro because I never really like what's the word experimented with it until I did the game night crack video. I think that's what I called it. That video is where like I figured out, oh, I can do this here and do this here, and like I was just kind of playing around with all that stuff. So any of those videos I do really like, but I also have to say that the video I uploaded recently with Little Mix's LM5 era in a nutshell, I am pretty proud of that video just because I feel like it did sum up pretty well. I don't know. I was just pretty proud of myself when I finished that one.
Yeah, any of the videos where you can kind of like play are videos that I tend to be proud of, or at the very least, like any of my music videos I've done. Like I love those.
Yeah.
No one else really loves them, but I love them because they're just
I like them.
yeah. Thank you, because they're just like they're fun. Like I don't get to play with that a lot. It's an enjoyable video to make for me. Same with oddly satisfying audio transitions. That's fun to make. Love that one. That one
Yeah.
that one is like equal amounts of like insanely frustrating and like insanely satisfying.
Yeah.
And because like
It's so worth it when you finish.
yeah, because like it's hours and hours of me trying to make it fit, and then once it does, I'm just like, oh my god, this is everything. So those ones I really like. The behind the pop star glitz and glam. Oh, and then recently, the one I just did about the OT4 Sweet Melody performance. I am in love with it. I love them. To be fair,
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 different versions of them, and there are 2 of them up on YouTube. But that was really fun to make. That was fun to play with. All of the comments were so nice. Okay, next question. Have you ever thought of leaving the fandom? I'll go. I'll go. The answer is yes. If I'm honest, the answer is yes. The hate comments are a lot to deal with. That much negativity, especially like for me, who very much was not involved on social media, any type of social media at all whatsoever before starting the channel. It's a lot. Like it's a lot of negativity and in my life that doesn't necessarily need to be there. Most of you guys are super lovely and you're amazing, and I love you and appreciate all of your support. There are parts of the fandom that are really toxic and
Mm-hmm.
unpleasant, and I get exposed to all of it. So I definitely have thought about, is this worth it?
Yeah. I've never thought about leaving like the actual fandom. I've just thought about leaving Instagram and Twitter because those two, especially Twitter, because those two are very toxic. I mean, it obviously depends on like what you see and like who you follow and all that stuff. But like the things that I see come up on my timeline can get really bad. And it's just an added stress that I really don't need. So that's why, if you've noticed, I'm not as active as I used to be on either one because I tend to stay off of it as much as possible. But at the same time, it's crucial to getting updates and getting like videos that I can't find on YouTube. I have to find it on there. So it's kind of like a lose lose situation. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at because as much as I love the fandom, it's really just not fun going on like Instagram and Twitter sometimes and just seeing like all the arguments that are happening between like different groups or different mixers in general, or just some of the comments that I see on Instagram, especially that'll be like towards the girls, is just not
Yeah,
good.
calling
So
out those confession accounts on
yeah,
Instagram, like y'all gotta do
yeah.
better.
I saw one the other day that was like really bad. I wish I could remember what it said, but I saw one and it literally left me like my
Like,
jaw
just because
dropped.
someone sends it to you does not mean you have to post it.
And the worst thing is when the account will tag the girls
Yeah, don't
in
do that.
that post and it'll be like something really bad. And I'm like, why would you tell them that you want this member to go solo and then tag all of them? Like that's not a fan account, that's a
Yeah,
hate
like
account.
don't do that. Like don't tag them. Like if you're gonna post like sketchy shit, like don't tag them. Just think about it. Think about it before you do it. Think it through. It's just
Yeah.
kind of my take on it. Sorry to anyone that maybe runs a confession account. If this doesn't apply to you, then don't take offense to it. And if it does apply to you and you're taking offense to it, maybe
Yeah.
take a look at what you're posting.
I've seen like maybe a few accounts that are like confession accounts that are like okay, like they're fine because I know that they monitor it, but just some of them,
So some of them need to have a better filter. Like there needs to be a better filter process of what
yeah.
actually makes it onto the account. Okay, next. What is one thing y'all admire about each of the girls?
Ooh. I mean, they all embody. Oh wait, do you
Well,
want to go?
are we doing like something they all have, or about like individually each one of them?
I was gonna do all of them because they all kind of have the same things that I'm
Okay.
talking about. So I was gonna say that like all of them are very brave because they talk about like stuff that they've been through and stuff that has happened to them, and I could never do that. um, and I also think that they really have a like strong worth ethic. Like that's something I really admire because they keep working even though they're thrown so much hate and they have been told so many times they're going to fail. They still do it and they still work hard and they still like achieve what they want to achieve. So that's what I really like.
Yeah, how hardworking they are. Back to my rambling story of founding them via vocal coaches on YouTube to become a stan. Um, is yeah, like what drew me in was like them saying like how hard they must work as a group. What appealed to me was like that aspect of it. Maybe in a different episode we'll go into like the individual girls.
Yeah. Yeah, we could talk a lot about like them
Yeah.
individually.
So we'll save that for another day, guys. We'll go into that later. What do your families think of you being a mixer slash having a fan account?
I didn't tell anybody about my account for like the longest time because I was kind of embarrassed to have one. And like the only other person that knew that I had something similar to one was my mom because she's like a stan of Little Mix just like I am. So she was the only one that really knew about it. And then it wasn't until like I grew a pretty like decent amount of subscribers that I told my dad and like my brother found out and like my best friend. But like I didn't start telling like my cousin who I talk to like almost every day. I didn't tell her. I didn't tell my other like close friend until about like 2 weeks ago. But
Yeah, so I'm not close with my family. The only person I talk to is my sister. I don't think that any of my other family knows because I don't talk to them. My sister thinks it's cool. My friends occasionally think it's cool, and that's kind of it, I guess.
yeah, that's how my like friends and
Yeah.
family feel.
And then, are you embarrassed to be a Little Mix stan slash fan? Um, on a personal level, like no, my friends are well aware that I'm obsessed, and they indulge me and listen to me talk about it all the time, and then are like, "Could you shut up?" Um, on a professional level, like maybe a little bit, if I'm honest.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't use the word like embarrassed. I would say more reserved because like high school is a very vicious place. And that is when I like discovered Little Mix and made my channel. So like the entire time I went there, I avoided saying I was a fan just so they wouldn't go find my channel. So it wasn't anything about like Little Mix in general. I just didn't want them to find my videos and like find my account. But since I've graduated, I'm a little more open about it. So like if they ask, I'll be like, oh yeah, I like Little Mix, instead of saying I like a group from the UK or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, and yeah, I wanna clarify. It's not embarrassed of the girls themselves, it's the channel. Like, it's my own participation in the fandom with the YouTube channel that I feel
Yeah.
more cautious about being open with and the people like in my real life, specifically professionally. And to be honest, like I actually like spent like a year hiding it from my friends too. And then I kind of got a little bit more comfortable and kind of came clean, so to speak. And
Yeah.
it doesn't have anything to do with Little Mix themselves. I would feel that way about any content like that I was making.
Yeah. Cause it really just depends on like who, like, well, I guess for me, it was just really who I was hanging out with and who like knew me. So if I knew that they wouldn't make fun of me, I would bring it up. But since a lot of the people that attended my school, they were not in that type of, I don't want to say mindset, that type of, I don't know. They just didn't like the same stuff I liked. So I knew if I mentioned that I had videos on YouTube, that was the thing that in my school, if you mentioned that you had a YouTube channel, everybody knew and everybody would try to go find it. So I heavily avoided mentioning anything from Little Mix just so they wouldn't find them and then find my channel.
Yeah, I get that. So
Yeah.
again, guys, it's not about the girls. It's not about being embarrassed of the girls. It's just about wanting to have like some boundaries in your life between your online activity in a fandom and like your real life stuff that you do.
Yeah.
What do you like about each of the girls' individual style, like fashion style? Has it influenced your own? I do not have a fashion style. I am a uh, walking mess. I don't know. Um,
Me too.
I guys like it's like does it match? Does it look good on me? There's not a lot of like style that goes into it. So has it influenced my own? Probably not. What do I like about it? I would say Perry and Jesse during the Glory Days era
Oh yeah.
was aesthetically very pleasing to me.
For me, I like obviously I like all of theirs, but I really like Leanne's style a lot. And like I know nothing about fashion because I don't understand it and I don't have the patience to go like figure it out. So I just look at a lot of the stuff that she wears and like, oh yeah, I like that. And then it's like, okay, how could I recreate that to something that is more of what I would wear? So if I follow any of them, it would probably be Leanne.
I think that's it for like the chatty questions. I have some speed round questions if you want to
Yeah,
do those.
sure. I fold. I don't I don't do well under pressure.
All right. Have you ever met Little Mix?
No.
No, I haven't either. Okay. Which song do you feel the most in your veins?
Clued up. That one hits hard.
Um, I, did, I should have thought this through more before I decided to do this. I don't know why Freak is what's coming to mind. I don't know why.
Oh, that's another one. That's like my second one.
I guess Freak. I'm going to go with Freak. Which song from Confetti do you think should be the next single?
Unpopular opinion, I think, from what I've seen on Twitter, but I love a mess. That's that's my favorite.
I want Confetti to be the next single. I like everything in a mess except for the bridge. Don't come at me. I'm not hating on Jesse. I just don't like the production.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but it's starting to grow on me.
That's like the only thing about the song that like I just can't get behind. I love Perry on that song though. Perry makes that song for me. Do you think the old merch should come back? Yes, I do. I want a
Yeah.
Glory Day sweatshirt.
That's literally the exact thing I was gonna say. I've been trying to find one that wasn't a kid's size for 2 years.
I'm like, can I just have a Glory Day
I
sweatshirt?
want one so bad.
Song you wish they would perform live. Love Me or Leave Me.
Yeah, Love Me or Leave Me, all of Freak.
Freak.
Like all of it, please.
Yeah, like the
I'm
whole thing.
begging.
I want the whole thing.
Monster in Me.
Notice.
I Love You.
Yeah, I love you. I think I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Oh, I didn't write this down,
Yeah.
but I am remembering someone asked me at the very end of their like long list of questions, a very silly one that I didn't write down, but because I'm remembering it, we're going to answer it. Which is that, do we eat our French fries with ketchup on them or on the side?
On the side.
Yeah, on the side.
It makes them soggy if you put it on there.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that is our first episode. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed listening to us ramble on, and we'll see you guys next week with another podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Love you all. Thank you for supporting us. We really appreciate you coming on this little journey with us. We're having a lot of fun. That you guys are enjoying it too.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you think about any of the stuff we talked about and anything you would want us to talk about in the future.
Yeah.
See you next week.